Welcome back to Indochina, my friends, and welcome to the first Indochina War. Well, a lot has happened, and as I recommend with every single one of these episodes, if you haven't watched the rest, I highly recommend you go and take a look. You definitely want to understand how we got to this point and where we're headed from here. Hint, hint, probably not a good place because the French in Vietnam didn't do so well. Now, guys, we have an interesting choice here, or a chance, to take Haiphong back. This, of course, is really the main capital, at least when the French were here. I believe when the Americans arrived, it was Saigon. But here, Haiphong is actually quite important. So I want to try and retake this area. And as most of you guys know, this is where that large Viet Minh army is situated. And there's another one approaching from the north, guys. So I'm trying to bring our guys down as soon as possible. Let's go ahead and plan a massive attack. I am calling broken arrow on this one. I'm calling in every single one of our bombers. This is a very dangerous, very, very dangerous situation. And I want to see if we can't wipe out this Viet Minh army. How amazing would that be? We're not just calling in broken arrow with our ships, with our planes. We're also calling in broken arrow with our destroyers. Every single one of our destroyers off the coast is going to open fire. All right, I like that. Now up here, we promised, guys, that we would bring most of these people back, and especially since we see that larger group approaching, I'm actually going to stop on this side of the river, and I'm going to try to set up a nice little defense here. I'm going to see if I can't get dug in. Unfortunately, it does look like the enemy, not the enemy, but the terrain here is a little tough to get through. Surprise, surprise. So we don't want to send all our men, but we're just going to put up a nice little sort of front line here, as you can see. So if that large army moves through, which they will, we can at least have something prepared to face them. Over here in the south, we've actually done quite well against the enemy forces, and I just want to keep that up. Particularly over here, we've got a 2-5 army. I don't really want that guy getting through. So I'm going to do a group move with these guys. I'm also going to bring in my PT boats, and I am going straight to Ninh Binh. This is a city we definitely want to hold, and we just retook it from the enemy, so I definitely don't want to lose it. Right there, our chances are pretty poor for a victory, but I want to at least get one unit into Ninh Binh. And now we will attack on this line. Look at how many men we can use to hit the Viet Minh here. This is perfect. And this is a major attack for turn 1, but I think we should do it. And for those of you that don't understand what I mean by that, in the Operational Art of War 4, even though you do have a turn-based system, you usually have like 4 or 5 parts to a turn, at least in this scenario. Each scenario is different. Some only have 2 parts to a turn, some only 1. Some have more. In this case, we have, I think, 4 or 5, but now it's down to 2 or 3. And we have also taken that Viet Minh capital to the south. Well, not really a capital, but one of their fighting positions. And we want to attack the guerrilla unit that they have hidden here in the jungle. We're going to be doing that with the PT boats. They've actually done a great job, so I've got to give it to them. And let's bring in our armored vehicles here to take on some more guerrilla units. So I think these would be more like Viet Cong. Sorry, guys. These would be more like Viet Cong, sort of guerrilla troops as opposed to the northern guys. Well, the Viet Minh actually are closer to the... No, the Viet Minh are closer to the NBA. They did have uniforms, etc. So yeah, we're facing the Viet Cong there. Now, somebody mentioned in a few episodes back that we should try to retake the center, and that just seems impossible, man. We're doing our best, but I think we're going to have to bring reinforcements to actually retake this area. Let's let those attacks go through, and let's hope for the best. Push them back, boys. If we can just destroy that one army that's already made their way into the city, that's going to make me sufficiently happy. That's pretty much all we need. I already feel pretty confident against these guerrilla positions, and honestly, even if we can't destroy them now, we can destroy them later. Here we go, the major attack in Haiphong, and of course, the enemy has had this area for about a month, or a few weeks anyway, and that leads me to believe that any political prisoners in here are probably dead anyway, so no wonder they let us take that victory point. I'm pretty sure they've done their worst. As you can see there, the enemy did retreat. Now they're in a very large group there right on the coast. It's going to be very easy for us to target, but what I really want to see is how much damage we did to it. So let's take a look here. Okay, so this is the attack to the south. Don't really care. I knew we were going to do well. Guys, that's what I'm talking about. And for those of you guys where this is your first Operational Art of War 4 or Indochina War episode, that's an amazing amount of kills. Now, these are entire squads, so we just crushed about a third of this army, and we've got more to destroy. Of course, they've got their buddies arriving from the northeast, but I always love to see that. Now, I'm going to continue the attack against some of these guerrillas. You can't always attack twice with a single unit in this game, but with a lot of the mechanized units you can. So in this case, we are going to go ahead and take that risk. Probability of success is still pretty poor. And I'm going to bring this armored unit behind that guerrilla unit, just so they can't... I was going to say that they can't retreat, but it looks like they retreated to the north anyway. And I don't want them taking Kanto. It'd be really frustrating if we made them retreat, and they ended up retreating onto one of our victory points. Let me see if I can bring these guys. And this is the Colonial Expeditionary Forces. It's actually an AA gun, but it can hold this position, I think. At least temporarily. All right, we keep attacking. We keep attacking. If we can. A lot of the times you can't attack twice, as mentioned before, but here we go. These armored vehicles are absolutely up for another strike. God bless them. And we can also bring in our planes once again, as well as our destroyers. And guys, once again, since they're now on the coast, this is going to make it a lot easier for us to crush them. I'd like to send this unit just to stop them from retreating. That's all I'm doing. I'm trapping them in here. I think most of you understand what I'm going for, and I'm going to do another attack here in the southwest. Because we were doing so well, I don't want that to stop. I want to get rid of all enemies to the south, then perhaps we can get a group together, and we can actually try to push down south ourselves. Okay, I think that's pretty much all we want to do. I'll bring in one more bridging unit, because why not? And we shall end the turn. Wish us luck. Call Broken Arrow. Beautiful. Already pushing them back. Of course, this is pretty typical amongst the Viet Minh guerrillas, is to, lose 20-30% of that army and immediately pull back. Pretty standard guerrilla fighting techniques here. And it looks like they were destroyed at the center. Let's take a look. I don't know specifically where. There it is. Wow. Okay, look at that, guys. 156 rifle squads. Okay, this is pretty crazy. But as you can see, they're actually pushed out onto a tiny peninsula here of Dosan. They are completely stuck here, guys. This is hilarious. So we've definitely managed to trap one of the armies, and I think we're pretty ready for that second one that's approaching us. Let's keep hitting this guy, man. This is a turkey shoot. We might just call this the Dosan turkey shoot instead of Broken Arrow. Yeah, a lot of these units are not going to be able to move this turn at least, but next turn they'll be ready to go. I actually want to send some guys up here to see if I can't target that infantry unit, but if not, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. This guy's in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to try to retreat with him, and it's just a ligne de l'autre that has been stuck behind enemy lines for quite a long time. Might as well continue the attack here. It's been going pretty damn well. I love that a lot of these armored vehicles are able to attack multiple times, because otherwise we would be stopped. We've been stopped a number of times in this game, but here we're able to just continue the assault, and I absolutely love that. Vive la France! Vive la République! Okay. Not bad. Really not bad at all. That was our last attack right there. And once again, managing to destroy massive chunks of this huge force because they're stuck out there on that tiny, tiny peninsula. I absolutely love it, guys. We've got to keep it up. We're going to end up taking so many Viet Minh prisoners and killing so many Viet Minh. Maybe we will win the war. As you can see here at Quang Tri and Hue, two major cities, the enemy presence is huge. And if we ever plan to go to the coast and liberate those cities, we've got to defeat the threat currently to Haiphong. And after defeating the threat to Haiphong, got to follow it up and make sure that that threat is not coming back. As you can see here, look at that. The enemy infantry just pushed through our southern line, even though we thought it was untenable. It definitely wasn't. They broke through. Just like you should never say that there's an unsinkable ship, there's not an unbreakable line, and the Viet Minh just proved that. So again, that's why taking back the coastal cities is so tough, and why we're probably going to have to continue this war for a long time before we even get that chance. So make sure to hit that like button. Also check out our playlist and like that as well if you want this series to continue, because I would guess that this series could easily go into 100, 200 episodes. I'm not sure, guys. I don't know if we could do the entire thing, but we're certainly going to try. As you can see now, they've actually managed to surround our PT boats. And we've been so proud of these PT boats the entire game. They've done so much. I'm going to be kind of sad if we lose them. Now, are they an integral part of our army? Not really, but definitely a helpful one. I mean, this entire country, tremendous amount of this entire country is rivers and lakes. So there we go, guys. Getting some replacements, hopefully, beginning our next turn. And let's see if there's any news. No, no news. Oh, yes, there is. Hold on. All right. Monsoon season started. We've already seen that. France recovers Haiphong, and that actually helps a little bit. So recovering Haiphong, obviously it's not good to lose it in the first place. We already lost victory points because of that. But we got some back for recovering. Now, we still have to destroy that army, but that's going to have to happen in the next episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one, and vive la France.